So dear students, in this section we will see the overview of embedded system architecture. In our last section we have seen what is embedded system. So every embedded system consists of the hardware as well as the software, and the outcome built hardware is surrounded by the central processing unit. This hardware also contains the memory chips onto which the software is loaded. The software residing on memory chip is called as firmware. So whatever software we are using for our system which is residing on the memory chip, which is present on the memory chip, is called as the firmware. The embedded system architecture can be represented in the layered architecture. We can see in this particular diagram there are various layers, and by using that layers the embedded system architecture can be displayed. So it can be represented in the layered architecture, and we can integrate the application software with operating system and then transfer the entire system on the memory chip. So we can see this layered architecture of embedded system where the hardware is there. Hardware is surrounded by the operating system, and later it is surrounded by the application software. So the application software is integrated with the operating system, and then it is transferred entirely to the software on the memory chip so that we can have our embedded system on chip. So the various building blocks of hardware of embedded system are CPU, that is nothing but central processing unit, memory, input devices, output devices, communication interface, application specific circuitry. So CPU is nothing but central processing unit. So that is that we can use the microcontroller, microprocessor as a processor in our system. So the microcontroller is mainly responsible as it is the low cost processor, and this work of CPU is for controlling the overall system. We know that the central processing unit is nothing but the heart of the system. It's the core of the particular system. Then the memory. Memory is categorized as random access memory and read-only memory. We have already seen that in detail. So the contents of RAM will be erased if power is switched off, whereas ROM retains the contents though the power is switched off. So according to the need of the system, the memory is utilized where we can store the program and data in our particular system. Then comes the input devices. So unlike the desktop, the input devices are very necessary part, because by using them we can give the input to our system. It can be the command, it can be the GUI based. Next comes the output devices. The output devices of embedded system are responsible for showing the output which is generated after the execution of the system. So by using LED, LCD, we can have the display output where we can see the particular tasks are being executed and the system is providing the particular specific output, because embedded system is responsible for providing the specific job, and it is the combination of hardware and software. So next is the communication interface. Communication interface is responsible for providing the access so that the devices can communicate with each other. We have seen the communication protocols as well in detail. The communication interface is responsible for providing the communication in between the devices as well as by using the buses, so that it can have the track of tasks, as it is necessary that each and every task should be executed. So all this is nothing but the layered architecture and overview of the embedded system, which mainly contains the hardware, software and the operating system. Thank you.